The sun hung high in the sky, its scorching rays beating down with an unrelenting intensity that transformed the bustling gas station into an arena of sweltering discomfort. The air shimmered with heat waves, creating an almost tangible haze that enveloped everything in its path. Amid this relentless furnace stood Vicky, a devoted gas station attendant whose presence was nothing short of a lifeline for weary travelers. If you are not subscribed, I recommend you subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos. She moved from pump to pump with an agility that belied the oppressive weather, her face flushed with a sheen of perspiration that mingled with the resolute smile she wore. Despite the relentless assault of the sun and the unending parade of customers seeking relief, Vicky remained a pillar of calm and warmth, her every gesture imbued with a soothing grace that cut through the day's harsh intensity. Her hands worked tirelessly and skillfully, first guiding a frazzled family as they refueled their minivan, then turning her attention to a young woman struggling with a recalcitrant gas pump. Each interaction was marked by Vicky's unyielding patience and kindness, her demeanor a balm for the discomforts of the day. As she finished assisting the young woman, her gaze fell upon an elderly man who was approaching the station with a deliberate slowness. His attire was a testament to a life lived with frugality, his clothes frayed at the edges, and his steps measured and uncertain. The lines on his face were deep and etched with a mixture of confusion and worry that spoke volumes about the struggles he had endured over the years. "Excuse me, miss," he began, his voice betraying a slight tremor that hinted at his anxiety. "It seems I've left my wallet at home, and I don't have enough money to pay for the gas I've already pumped." As Vicky listened, her heart ached at the sight of the elderly man's distress. The sincerity in his voice was undeniable, and the depth of his concern seemed to transcend the immediate issue of the gas payment, reflecting a broader, more profound anxiety that tugged at the heartstrings. With a compassionate and gentle approach, Vicky stepped closer to him, her expression softening into one of deep empathy. "Please, don't worry, sir," she said, her voice a soothing balm. "We'll figure this out together." She reached into her purse, her movements deliberate and tender as she extracted her own money. Counting out the precise amount needed with careful precision, she extended the cash to him, her smile a beacon of reassurance and understanding. "You can repay me whenever it's convenient for you. Until then, please take care and don't stress about it." At that moment, Vicky's simple act of kindness transcended the confines of the gas station, becoming a poignant reminder of the deep well of compassion that exists within people. Her willingness to help a stranger in need, despite the scorching heat and the demands of her busy day, highlighted the profound impact of empathy and the enduring power of human connection. Lewis, as he introduced himself with a tremulous voice, was visibly touched by Vicky's generosity. His eyes glistened with unshed tears as he accepted the money with trembling hands, his gratitude palpable in every shaky breath he took. "Thank you," he murmured, his voice thick with emotion. "I promise I'll come back to repay you," Vicky nodded, her gaze warm and unwavering, conveying her deep and genuine trust in the elderly man's solemn promise. As Lewis turned to leave, the murmurs of Vicky's colleagues began to ripple through the gas station like a dissonant symphony. Their voices, laced with skepticism, cut through the air. "Are you serious?" One of them sneered, disbelief evident in every word. "You think that old man's story is true? He's probably just pulling a fast one on you." "Yeah," another added, his smirk widening into a sneer. "This place is full of con artists. You've been had, Vicky." Her colleagues exchanged doubtful glances but fell silent, their skepticism unspoken but visible. Vicky watched Lewis's retreating figure, noting the slight steadiness in his gait and the small piece of paper clutched tightly in his hand, an address and a promise of his return. Her heart swelled with a mixture of hope and apprehension. She had acted on what she felt was right, despite the mockery and disdain from her peers. The experience left her with a profound sense of inner peace, knowing that her actions reflected her values and belief in the inherent goodness of others, even if it meant standing alone against the tide of cynicism. The rest of the day unfolded in a relentless haze of heat and unceasing activity. Vicky moved from pump to pump with her usual steadfastness, but her mind was preoccupied with thoughts of the elderly man. She found herself wondering about his life story, the trials he must have faced, and the chain of events that had led him to that pivotal moment of vulnerability. Each customer she assisted seemed to bring her back to that encounter, their faces reminding her of the small act of compassion she had offered. As the sun began its slow descent, casting elongated shadows that stretched across the asphalt, the gas station gradually fell into a tranquil silence. The clamor of the day gave way to a quieter atmosphere, and Vicky seized the opportunity to rest. She leaned against the counter inside the station, the coolness of the indoor air a stark contrast to the oppressive heat she had endured outside. Just as she began to relax, Mr. Thompson, the station manager with his typically stern demeanor, approached her. "Vicky," he said, his voice devoid of warmth, "I've heard about today's incident. Did you take money from the register?" Vicky's heart sank at the accusation. She straightened, her gaze meeting his with a mixture of resolve and trepidation. "No, Mr. Thompson," she answered steadily. "I used my own money to help that gentleman. I genuinely believed in his need and chose to extend my assistance." "Mr. Thompson's expression softened slightly, though his frustration was still evident. He sighed heavily, rubbing his temples as if trying to alleviate a headache. "I understand your intentions were good," he said with a hint of resignation. "But we have policies in place for a reason. Making exceptions can set a precedent that might lead to bigger issues down the line." Vicky felt a pang of disappointment at his response, but she stood firm in her conviction. The day's heat seemed to have seeped into her bones, yet the emotional warmth she felt from helping Lewis provided a measure of solace. As the station's lights flickered on in the dimming twilight, Vicky remained steadfast, her heart quietly resolute in the face of scrutiny. She understood the importance of rules, yet she also believed deeply in the value of compassion and the small, significant acts of kindness that define our humanity. Vicky's eyes welled with a deep sadness, yet she remained resolute. "I did what I felt was right," she said softly, her voice tinged with a quiet strength. "Sometimes rules need to bend for the sake of humanity." "Mr. Thompson regarded her for a long, heavy moment, his face a mask of indecision. Finally, he shook his head slowly, a look of resignation etched into his features. "I'm sorry, Vicky. It's too late now. You're dismissed." A wave of tears threatened to spill from Vicky's eyes as she gathered her personal belongings. Each item she packed seemed to weigh more heavily on her heart, a stark reminder of the day's harsh turn of events. She walked out of the gas station with a profound sense of loss, her heart burdened but her conscience unburdened. She had chosen to follow her moral compass, even if it meant facing the difficult reality of losing her job. As the sun began its gentle descent, casting a warm, golden hue over the gas station, the frenetic pace of the day gave way to a more tranquil evening. The once bustling pumps were now sparsely occupied, and the relentless hum of engines had diminished to the soft chirping of birds in the cooling twilight. Vicky took a moment to catch her breath, wiping the sweat from her brow and reflecting on the day's events. Just as she was lost in her thoughts, the sharp, commanding voice of Mr. Thompson broke through the stillness. "Vicky, can I see you in my office?" His tone was clinical, but there was an underlying edge that made Vicky's heart sink with apprehension. She followed him into the small, dimly lit office tucked away at the back of the station. The space was a cluttered testament to disorganization, with outdated posters on the walls and stacks of paperwork creating a chaotic mound on the desk. Mr. Thompson sat behind the desk, his posture rigid and authoritative. He gestured for Vicky to take a seat, the atmosphere thick with unspoken tension. Vicky lowered herself into the chair, her hands resting nervously in her lap. The dim light cast long shadows, emphasizing the gravity of the moment. Despite the turmoil within her, she remained steadfast, determined to hold onto the integrity that had guided her actions throughout the day. "I heard about what happened today, Mr. Thompson began, his voice steady as he folded his hands in front of him, his eyes fixed on Vicky with a mix of curiosity and concern. "Did you take money from the register?" Vicky shook her head, her expression a mixture of resolve and sorrow. "No, Mr. Thompson. I used my own money. That gentleman was in need, and I believed his story. He promised to return and repay me." "Mr. Thompson sighed heavily, leaning back in his chair with an air of frustration. "Vicky, we have rules for a reason. Allowing exceptions can set a dangerous precedent. Other customers might see it as an opportunity to delay their payments, which could cause significant problems for us." "I understand the necessity of rules," Vicky replied, her gaze unwavering and her voice firm yet tinged with sadness. "But there are times when compassion must take precedence over policy. That man was desperate, and I couldn't bring myself to turn him away in his time of need." The manager's expression grew colder, his eyes narrowing as he processed her response. "I appreciate your empathy, but we cannot afford to operate based solely on trust. The decision is final. I'm afraid I have no choice but to terminate your employment." The weight of Mr. Thompson's words struck Vicky like a physical blow, leaving her heart heavy and aching. She felt tears prickling at the corners of her eyes, but she blinked them back, determined to hold her composure. "I understand," she said quietly, her voice barely above a whisper. "But I don't regret what I did." "Mr. Thompson gave a curt nod, his demeanor unmoved. "You may collect your personal belongings and leave. I will process your final paycheck." With a sense of numb resignation, Vicky stood up, her legs feeling as though they were made of lead. She moved with deliberate slowness, mechanically gathering her things. Her colleagues observed her departure in silence, some with expressions of pity, others with detached indifference. As Vicky stepped out of the gas station into the cool embrace of the evening air, she felt the first hints of tears blending with the warmth of her cheeks. The crisp air offered a momentary relief, but it did little to ease the profound sadness she carried with her. As Vicky walked home, the streets were bathed in the gentle hues of twilight, the fading daylight casting a soft glow over the familiar surroundings. Her steps felt heavy, each one echoing the weight of the day's events. Arriving at the modest home she shared with her mother, Rachel, and her daughter, Anna, she was greeted by the comforting simplicity of their living room. The room, though small and unadorned, radiated warmth and the evidence of a life built on hard work and modest means. Rachel, deeply intuitive despite her age, looked up from her knitting as soon as Vicky entered. The concerned lines on her mother's face mirrored the growing unease in Vicky's heart. "Vicky, what happened?" Rachel's voice was gentle, laced with motherly concern. Vicky took a deep, steadying breath, her voice trembling as she spoke. "I lost my job today." The words hung heavily in the air, charged with the sadness and disbelief she felt. Anna, who had been diligently working on her homework at the kitchen table, looked up with wide, worried eyes. Her youthful face, normally animated with curiosity and excitement, was now shadowed with concern. "Why, Mom?" Vicky took a moment to gather her thoughts before explaining the situation. She recounted the encounter with the elderly man, her decision to help him, and the unfortunate consequence of her dismissal. Her voice was calm, but it carried an undertone of the emotional toll she had endured. Rachel listened intently, her gaze a mixture of worry and pride, while Anna's eyes welled with tears. She quickly brushed them away, trying to stay strong for her mother's sake. "That was a kind thing you did," Rachel said softly, her voice imbued with both sadness and admiration. Sometimes, doing the right thing comes with a cost, but it's important to stay true to yourself. Vicky nodded, feeling the heaviness in her heart, yet finding solace in her mother's supportive words. Rachel's face, though etched with concern, remained calm and reassuring. "We'll figure it out, Vicky. We always do," Rachel said with a determined smile, her attempt to lift her daughter's spirits evident in her words. In the days that followed, the family faced a series of small but significant hardships. To keep the household afloat, Rachel made the difficult decision to sell some of their cherished heirlooms. With a heavy heart, she parted with a silver brooch passed down through generations and a delicate porcelain tea set, each sale a painful but necessary step in their struggle. Vicky watched with a heavy heart as her mother handed over the treasured items to a local antique dealer. Rachel's stoic expression masked the deep pain she felt, but her words carried a glimmer of hope. "We'll buy them back one day," she said with a determined smile, trying to offer some comfort to her daughter. Anna, sensing the growing tension, began to worry about her schooling. One evening, as Vicky tucked her into bed, the young girl's fear surfaced. "Mom, will I have to stop going to school?" Vicky's heart ached at her daughter's innocent question. She gently brushed a stray lock of hair from Anna's forehead and kissed her softly. "We'll do everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen, sweetie. Just focus on your studies, okay?" Anna nodded, though the worry in her eyes lingered. Vicky understood that the financial strain was not only affecting her but was also a heavy burden on her entire family. The house, once filled with laughter and light-hearted conversations, now seemed to echo the unspoken fears and uncertainties about their future. Despite the challenges, Vicky remained committed to facing each day with courage and hope, drawing strength from the love and support of her family. Despite the mounting hardships, the resilience of Vicky's family shone brightly through their supportive interactions and unwavering love for one another. Their tight-knit bond became their greatest source of strength. Friends and neighbors, moved by Vicky's selfless act of kindness, rallied around her in a heartwarming display of community solidarity. They came together, pooling resources to help cover immediate expenses and offering words of encouragement. This outpouring of support was a beacon of hope for Vicky, reminding her of the profound strength and compassion embedded within her community. It fueled her resolve to overcome the obstacles before her and rebuild her life with renewed determination. Amid these struggles, Vicky faced the formidable challenge of finding new employment. She dedicated countless hours to updating her resume, carefully detailing her skills and experiences with meticulous attention to detail. Each morning, she ventured out into the world, visiting businesses, submitting applications, and enduring interviews. The constant barrage of rejections felt like a series of crushing blows, but Vicky persevered, driven by the urgent need to provide for her family. One particularly disheartening day, after a series of disappointing rejections, Vicky returned home feeling utterly defeated. She sank onto the couch, her exhaustion and frustration overwhelming her. Rachel, sensing her daughter's despair, sat down beside her and placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "You're doing everything you can," Rachel said softly, her voice full of gentle reassurance. "Don't lose hope. We're in this together." A few weeks later, as the family continued to navigate their difficulties, Vicky received an unexpected phone call from a local community center. They were searching for someone to assist with their after-school programs, and her name had come up as a promising candidate. With a glimmer of hope, Vicky attended the interview, and to her immense relief and joy, she was offered the job on the spot. This new opportunity provided a glimmer of stability to Vicky's financial situation. While the pay wasn't as high as her previous job, it was sufficient to keep her family afloat. More importantly, the work proved to be deeply fulfilling. Vicky found profound joy in helping children with their homework, organizing engaging activities, and serving as a positive role model. The sense of purpose and community in her new role was a balm to her weary soul. One evening, as Vicky was wrapping up her duties at the community center, she heard a familiar voice call her name. She turned to see Louis, the elderly man she had helped at the gas station, standing at the door. His hands trembled slightly as he held out an envelope. "I came to repay you," Louis said, his voice filled with heartfelt gratitude, "and to thank you for your kindness. It meant more to me than you could ever know." The sincerity in his eyes and the gesture of repayment touched Vicky deeply. As she accepted the envelope, she felt a rush of emotion. It was a reminder that even amid adversity, acts of kindness and compassion could create ripples of change and hope. The encounter with Louis reaffirmed her belief in the power of human connection and the profound impact of a single act of kindness. Vicky accepted the envelope with trembling hands, her heart swelling with an overwhelming tide of emotion. "Thank you so much," she managed to say, her voice quavering as tears threatened to spill. "But honestly, seeing you well and knowing you're okay is more than enough for me." As Louis made his way out of the community center, Vicky felt a profound sense of peace envelop her. Despite the myriad of challenges she had faced, her act of kindness had come full circle. This reaffirmation of her faith in the goodness of people gave her a renewed sense of purpose. That night, she walked home with lighter steps and a heart brimming with hope. The days that followed saw Vicky continuing her work at the community center, finding deep fulfillment in her new role. Each day brought its own set of challenges, but Vicky's spirit remained unbroken. Her family, though still navigating their struggles, grew closer and stronger through their shared experiences. They had weathered their hardships together, emerging with a renewed appreciation for one another and a profound understanding of the power of kindness and community. And so Vicky's story became a testament to resilience, compassion, and the unwavering belief that even amidst adversity, doing what is right always makes a difference. The day of her crucial interview dawned with an overcast sky and a biting wind that seemed to cut through everything. Vicky bundled herself in her warmest coat, determined to face the cold as she embarked on her journey. She braved crowded buses and trudged through rain-soaked streets, her resolve unwavering despite the harsh weather. Upon reaching the gas station, she was met by Mr. Rufus, the manager, whose warm smile provided a small comfort against the chill. "You must be Vicky," he greeted, extending his hand in a gesture of welcome. "I'm Mr. Rufus, the manager here. It's a pleasure to meet you." Vicky shook his hand firmly, a mix of nerves and hope swirling within her. "Thank you for taking the time to see me, Mr. Rufus," she replied, her voice steady despite the flutter of anxiety in her chest. The interview took place in a small, inviting office adorned with simple, yet comfortable furnishings. As Mr. Rufus inquired about her previous experiences and motivations for seeking the job, Vicky spoke with honesty and earnestness. She shared the trials her family had faced, her unwavering dedication to supporting them, and her determination to work hard. She highlighted her eagerness to learn and her positive outlook, all of which she believed would contribute to her success in the role. Mr. Rufus listened intently, his expression reflecting thoughtful consideration. "You have quite a story, Vicky, Mr. Rufus said thoughtfully after a pause. "Your dedication and hard work are evident. I appreciate your honesty and the passion you bring to this opportunity." His words were a balm to Vicky's frayed nerves. She left the interview feeling a glimmer of hope that perhaps, despite the difficulties, a new beginning was on the horizon. Vicky felt a spark of hope ignite within her. "Thank you, Mr. Rufus. I truly believe I can contribute positively to your team," she said, her voice resonating with heartfelt gratitude. After posing a few more questions, Mr. Rufus leaned back, a contemplative look softening his features. "I'm impressed with your attitude, Vicky," he remarked. "You seem like someone who would fit in well here. If you're interested, The job is yours." Vicky's heart leaped with joy. "Thank you so much, Mr. Rufus. I promise I won't let you down," she replied, her voice brimming with earnest commitment. Mr. Rufus offered a reassuring smile. "I have confidence in you. We'll begin your training tomorrow. Welcome aboard, Vicky." With her spirits lifted, Vicky left the gas station feeling a profound sense of triumph. The grueling commute and biting weather seemed trivial compared to the promise of this new chapter in her life. She was eager to share this moment of triumph with her family. That evening, as Vicky walked through the door of their humble home, she was met with the familiar warmth of her loved ones. Rachel, absorbed in her knitting, looked up with a hopeful expression, while Anna, who had been anxiously waiting, hurried over to her mother. "How did it go?" Mom Anna asked, her eyes filled with hopeful curiosity. Vicky's face broke into a radiant smile. "I got the job," she announced, her voice vibrating with excitement and relief. Rachel's eyes lit up with pride and joy, her face reflecting the immense relief and happiness that had been absent for so long. The small living room, once a space of uncertainty and quiet worries, now felt like a haven of warmth and triumph. The bond of family, strengthened by their shared struggles and successes, enveloped them in a renewed sense of hope and togetherness. Vicky watched as the woman's face softened with gratitude, her exhaustion momentarily lifted by Vicky's simple kindness. The mother's eyes met Vicky's, and she offered a heartfelt thank you before heading to the restroom. The day continued with its usual pace, and Vicky found herself increasingly comfortable in her role. She developed a rhythm, balancing customer service with the other demands of the job. Each interaction, whether it was helping someone with directions or simply sharing a warm greeting, reinforced her belief that every small act of kindness mattered. One evening, as Vicky was preparing to close the station, she noticed a regular customer, Mr. Johnson, struggling to lift a heavy box from his car. Vicky immediately went over to help. "Hey, Mr. Johnson," she said with a friendly smile. "Let me give you a hand with that." Mr. Johnson looked up, surprise evident on his face. "Thank you, Vicky. I didn't expect you to be so helpful." Vicky shrugged modestly. "Just trying to make your day a little easier." The two shared a brief but pleasant conversation as Vicky helped Mr. Johnson with his box. He thanked her again before driving off, and Vicky felt a sense of fulfillment that went beyond the satisfaction of completing her tasks. Weeks passed, and Vicky's hard work began to garner recognition. Her colleagues grew to appreciate her dedication and positive attitude. Mr. Rufus often complimented her on her ability to connect with customers and handle the various challenges that arose. One day, Mr. Rufus approached Vicky with a serious expression. "Vicky, can we talk for a moment?" Vicky's heart skipped a beat. She followed him to the office, her mind racing with possibilities. "Everything all right?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. Mr. Rufus looked at her with a kind smile. "Yes, everything's fine. I just wanted to let you know that we've noticed your hard work and dedication. I'm recommending you for a promotion to shift supervisor. You've earned it." Vicky's eyes widened in surprise and joy. "Really? That's wonderful news." Mr. Rufus nodded. "Absolutely. Your ability to handle the responsibilities and your positive impact on the team has not gone unnoticed. We'll discuss the details and your new responsibilities soon." Vicky left the office with a renewed sense of accomplishment. Her journey from losing her job to earning a promotion was a testament to her resilience and unwavering commitment. As she walked home that evening, the weight of her previous struggles seemed lighter, replaced by the promise of new opportunities and the satisfaction of having made a difference. When she shared the news with Rachel and Anna, their faces lit up with pride and joy. It was a moment of triumph for the entire family, a symbol of their collective strength and support. Together, they celebrated Vicky's promotion, recognizing it as a milestone in their ongoing journey. Vicky's story became one of perseverance, hope, and the powerful impact of kindness and hard work. Each day at the gas station, she continued to embody these values, proving to herself and others that even in the face of adversity, one's actions could truly make a difference. Vicky's heart sank as she listened to Mr. Rufus. The shadow of her past was threatening to overshadow her progress, and the weight of the accusation felt like a crushing blow. "I understand your concerns," Vicky said, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside. "But I assure you I did nothing wrong. I was trying to help someone in need. It was a moment of compassion, not dishonesty." Mr. Rufus nodded, his expression softening. "I appreciate your honesty and I do believe in your integrity. However, we need to address this situation carefully. I'll need to speak with the higher-ups and present your side of the story. We must handle this transparently." Vicky took a deep breath, trying to steady her nerves. "Thank you for understanding. I'll cooperate fully with whatever you need." Mr. Rufus nodded. "We'll get through this. In the meantime, continue with your duties as usual. I'll keep you updated on any developments." Vicky left the office with a heavy heart, her mind racing with worry. She returned to her tasks, her movements automatic as she tried to push the anxiety to the back of her mind. Her colleagues noticed her distracted demeanor and approached her with concern. "Hey Vicky, are you okay?" Jack asked, his voice filled with genuine concern. Vicky forced a smile. "Just dealing with some things. Thanks for asking." Jack and the others could sense that something was wrong, but Vicky was determined to keep her head down and focus on her work. She knew she needed to prove her worth and maintain her professionalism, despite the stress. The following days were a blur of uncertainty and tension. Vicky awaited news from Mr. Rufus while continuing her job with unwavering dedication. Her colleagues rallied around her, offering words of encouragement and support. Jack, in particular, made an effort to cover some of Vicky's tasks and keep her spirits up. One afternoon, Mr. Rufus called Vicky into his office once more. Her heart pounded as she entered, her mind filled with anxiety. Mr. Rufus looked up from his desk, his expression a mix of relief and resolution. "Vicky, I've spoken with the higher-ups and clarified the situation. They reviewed your performance and the details of the accusation. We've decided to keep you on staff. Your integrity and dedication have been noted, and we believe in your commitment to this job." A wave of relief washed over Vicky, and she felt tears of gratitude welling up in her eyes. "Thank you, Mr. Rufus. I appreciate this opportunity." Mr. Rufus smiled. "Just keep doing what you've been doing. Your hard work speaks for itself." As Vicky walked back to the main floor, she felt a renewed sense of determination. The support from Mr. Rufus and her colleagues reinforced her belief that she was on the right path. She continued to work with the same dedication and kindness that had become her hallmark, finding solace in the positive impact she was making. Over time, Vicky's reputation at the gas station solidified, and the shadow of her past gradually faded. Her colleagues became her friends, and the customers continued to appreciate her warmth and dedication. Her journey had been fraught with challenges, but her resilience and integrity had led her to a place of stability and respect. With her head held high, Vicky moved forward, embracing the future with hope and determination, knowing that even in the face of adversity, her actions and values had truly made a difference. Vicky hesitated for a moment before answering, her heart racing with hope and apprehension. "Hello. Want it?" A calm, measured voice responded on the other end. "Hello, Vicky. This is Linda Carter from the Labor Relations Department. I understand you've been suspended from your job at the gas station due to some allegations. Vicky's breath caught in her throat. Yes, that's correct. How can I help you? Linda continued, I've been assigned to review your case. I want to ensure that all aspects of the situation are examined fairly. Can we meet to discuss the details? Vicky's heart skipped a beat. Yes, of course. When and where would you like to meet? Linda arranged to meet Vicky at a local cafe the next day. Vicky spent the evening preparing for the meeting, gathering any documents and evidence that could support her case. The following afternoon, she walked into the cafe, feeling a mix of hope and nervousness. Linda was already there, seated at a corner table. She greeted Vicky with a warm smile and invited her to sit. Thank you for meeting with me, Vicky, Linda said. I want to hear your side of the story and understand the situation better. Vicky took a deep breath and began recounting the events that led to her suspension. She explained her actions with the elderly man, the subsequent dismissal from her previous job, and the impact it had on her current employment. Linda listened intently, taking notes and nodding thoughtfully. I can see that you've been through a lot, Linda said once Vicky had finished. It's clear that your actions were motivated by kindness, not dishonesty. I'll need to review the evidence and speak with Mr. Thompson, but from what you've shared, it seems there may have been a misunderstanding or perhaps an intentional attempt to damage your reputation. Vicky felt a glimmer of hope as Linda spoke. I appreciate your understanding. I just want the truth to be known and to be able to clear my name. Linda assured her that she would do her best to resolve the situation quickly. I'll keep you updated on any developments. In the meantime, try to stay positive. I believe we can work through this. As Vicky left the cafe, she felt a renewed sense of determination. Linda's support gave her hope that the truth would come to light and that her suspension might be lifted. The next few days were a waiting game. Vicky kept herself busy by helping Rachel and Anna with daily tasks, trying to maintain a semblance of normalcy despite the uncertainty hanging over her. She also spent time reaching out to friends and former colleagues, asking if they could provide character references or any information that might support her case. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Linda called with an update. Vicky, I've completed my review. I spoke with Mr. Thompson, and it seems there were some misunderstandings about the situation. Your current employer has agreed to reinstate you. They've acknowledged your dedication and the positive feedback from your colleagues and customers. Vicky's heart soared with relief and joy. Thank you so much, Linda. I'm incredibly grateful for your help. Linda replied, It was my pleasure. Just continue to demonstrate your hard work and integrity, and everything will fall into place. The news of her reinstatement spread quickly among her friends and colleagues, who congratulated her and offered their support. Vicky returned to work at the gas station, welcomed back with open arms by Mr. Rufus and her co-workers. The experience had been challenging, but it had also reinforced her resilience and the importance of standing by her principles. Vicky continued to excel in her role, earning even greater respect from her peers and customers. The shadows of her past gradually faded, and she moved forward with a renewed sense of purpose and confidence. Her journey had been a testament to her strength and character, proving that even in the face of adversity, staying true to oneself and relying on the support of others could lead to overcoming the toughest challenges. Vicky's return to the gas station was met with a warm reception from her colleagues. They welcomed her back with smiles and supportive words, eager to see her back in action. The atmosphere in the station felt lighter, as if the shadow of the recent troubles had finally lifted. As Vicky resumed her duties, she noticed a new sense of camaraderie among her team. Her recent challenges had brought them closer together, and they rallied around her, offering help and encouragement whenever needed. The customers, too, seemed to respond positively to her renewed energy and dedication. Vicky continued to excel in her role, handling tasks with a newfound confidence and grace. She took extra care to make each customer feel valued, and her efforts did not go unnoticed. Her interactions were marked by genuine warmth, and she found herself forming deeper connections with the people she served. The experience of facing false accusations had been a difficult trial, but it had also reinforced Vicky's resolve to uphold her values and integrity. She approached each day with a sense of gratitude, cherishing the opportunity to contribute positively to her community and support her family. As weeks turned into months, Vicky's life slowly began to stabilize. She and Rachel worked together to manage their household finances more effectively, and Anna excelled in her studies, buoyed by the positive changes in their lives. The bonds within their family grew stronger, and they found joy in their shared moments, appreciating the resilience they had demonstrated. Vicky's journey taught her valuable lessons about perseverance, the importance of trust, and the power of standing up for oneself. Her story became a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the impact of kindness and integrity in overcoming adversity. One evening, as Vicky sat with Rachel and Anna, reflecting on their progress, she felt a deep sense of contentment. The road had been challenging, but it had led them to a place of renewed hope and strength. "Look how far we've come," Vicky said, her voice filled with emotion. "We've faced so much, but we've come through it together." Rachel smiled, her eyes reflecting the pride and love she felt for her family. "We've been through a lot, but we've emerged stronger, and we've done it with kindness and determination." Anna nodded, her face lighting up with a bright smile. "We're a team, and we can handle anything as long as we stick together." Vicky's heart swelled with pride and gratitude for her family and the new opportunities that lay ahead. She knew that no matter what challenges might come their way, they had the strength and unity to face them with courage and grace. And so, Vicky continued her journey with a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that she had built a solid foundation for her family and that her story was one of resilience, hope, and unwavering commitment to doing what was right. Vicky was speechless, her heart overflowing with gratitude and relief. She had endured so much, and now, here was Chandler, offering not only financial assistance but also a chance to restore her livelihood. "Thank you, Chandler. I can't express how much this means to me," Vicky said, her voice trembling with emotion. "I've been trying so hard to put things right, and knowing that you're helping makes a world of difference." Chandler's expression softened. "You deserve this, Vicky. You've shown tremendous strength and character, and it's important to me that you're treated fairly. My father always spoke highly of you, and I wanted to make sure you received the support you need." Rachel and Anna looked on, their faces reflecting the same mixture of relief and gratitude that Vicky felt. Rachel finally spoke, her voice filled with warmth. "Chandler, we can't thank you enough for everything you've done. Your generosity and kindness are truly overwhelming." Chandler nodded. "It's the least we can do. I've seen how hard you've worked and how much you've endured. We'll make sure that this situation is resolved and that you're back to work where you belong." After a few more words of thanks and reassurance, Chandler bid them farewell, leaving Vicky and her family in a state of astonished joy. The financial relief was substantial, but the news of her potential reinstatement at the gas station was equally uplifting. Over the next few weeks, Vicky kept in touch with Chandler and Mr. Rufus, who confirmed that the process of clearing her name was underway. The support from Chandler and the company was unwavering, and soon Vicky received the news she had hoped for. Her suspension was lifted, and she was officially reinstated at the gas station. Returning to work was a profound moment for Vicky. The welcome she received from her colleagues was heartfelt, and the respect she had earned through her perseverance and dedication was palpable. Her colleagues had witnessed her trials and triumphs and embraced her back into the team with genuine support. The gas station, once a place of struggle and doubt, now felt like a symbol of resilience and hope. Vicky approached her work with renewed enthusiasm, knowing that her efforts were appreciated and valued. The community center job she had taken on during her suspension had also provided her with valuable experience and satisfaction, and she continued to support her family with the newfound stability. Vicky's journey had come full circle, transforming her initial challenges into opportunities for growth and connection. Her story became a testament to the power of kindness, integrity, and the unwavering support of those who believe in the goodness of people. With her family thriving and her career back on track, Vicky looked to the future with a sense of hope and purpose. She knew that, despite the obstacles she had faced, the strength and love of her family, combined with the kindness of others, had helped her create a better life for herself and those she loved. Vicky sat in stunned silence, trying to process Chandler's unexpected offer. The role of manager was a significant leap from her current position, and the thought of stepping into such a responsibility both exhilarated and intimidated her. Chandler continued, sensing her hesitation. "I understand that this is a big step, Vicky, but I believe in your ability to lead and inspire others. The station has been through some challenges recently, and we need someone who can bring a fresh perspective and strong leadership." Vicky looked at Chandler, her mind racing through the possibilities and responsibilities that the role would entail. Her heart was still full of the gratitude she felt from their previous interactions and the kindness she had received. "Chandler," Vicky said slowly, "this offer means more to me than I can express. I've worked hard to get to this point, and I want to ensure that I can meet the expectations and responsibilities of such a position. Can you tell me more about what the role would involve?" Chandler nodded. "Of course. As a manager, you would oversee the day-to-day operations of the gas station, manage staff, handle customer relations, and ensure everything runs smoothly. You'd also be involved in setting goals and implementing strategies to improve the station's performance and reputation." Vicky considered the scope of the job, envisioning the challenges and opportunities it presented. She thought about her family, her values, and her commitment to making a positive impact. "I'm honored by your confidence in me," Vicky said finally. "I would love to accept the position and contribute to the station in a meaningful way. I'll do my best to live up to the trust you've placed in me." Chandler's face brightened with a genuine smile. "I'm thrilled to hear that, Vicky. I'm confident you'll excel in this role. We'll work together to ensure a smooth transition and provide any support you need." As they wrapped up their meeting, Chandler reassured Vicky that her promotion would be announced internally, and he promised to support her every step of the way. Vicky felt a renewed sense of purpose and excitement about the future. When Chandler left, Vicky shared the incredible news with Rachel and Anna. Their reactions were a mix of astonishment and joy, and they celebrated the opportunity that lay ahead for Vicky. That evening, Vicky reflected on her journey from the struggles and setbacks to the unexpected offer of a managerial position. It was a testament to the power of kindness and perseverance, and it was clear that her efforts and values had made a lasting impact. The next chapter of her career was just beginning, and Vicky was determined to embrace it with the same dedication and integrity that had guided her through her challenges. With the support of her family and the opportunity to lead, she felt ready to face whatever came next and build a bright future for herself and those she cared about. Vicky took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the responsibility she was about to assume. "Thank you, Chandler. I'll do my best." As the day unfolded, Vicky was introduced to her new team. The staff, initially wary, soon warmed up to her as she approached them with openness and respect. She made it a point to listen to their concerns, understand their perspectives, and foster a collaborative environment. Her approachable demeanor and genuine interest in their well-being began to win them over. The first few weeks were a learning curve, filled with both challenges and triumphs. Vicky navigated the complexities of management, from handling customer issues to managing staff schedules and ensuring smooth operations. With each passing day, she felt more confident and capable in her role. Chandler's support was unwavering. He checked in regularly, offering guidance and feedback. Vicky appreciated his mentorship and felt grateful for the trust he had placed in her. She began implementing small changes to improve efficiency and morale, drawing on her experiences and the values she held dear. The station gradually transformed under her leadership. Customer satisfaction improved, and the staff's morale was high. Vicky's dedication and hard work were evident, and the positive changes began to reflect in the station's performance. One afternoon, as Vicky was reviewing some reports, Mr. Rufus stopped by her office. He looked around with a satisfied smile. "Vicky, I wanted to let you know how impressed I am with what you've accomplished. The station is running better than ever, and it's all thanks to your efforts." Vicky smiled, feeling a sense of pride. "Thank you, Mr. Rufus. It's been a team effort, and I'm grateful for the support I've received." Mr. Rufus nodded. "I've also heard from Chandler about your dedication. It's clear that you've made a significant impact." As Vicky continued to excel in her role, she found herself reflecting on her journey. The trials she had faced, the support she had received, and the opportunities she had been given all contributed to her growth. She felt a renewed sense of purpose and fulfillment. With each success, Vicky's confidence grew, and she embraced her role with enthusiasm. Her journey from uncertainty to leadership was a testament to her resilience, kindness, and dedication. She had not only transformed her career but also inspired those around her with her strength and integrity. In the end, Vicky's story was one of triumph over adversity, a reminder that even in the face of challenges, determination and compassion could lead to unexpected and rewarding outcomes. Vicky felt a wave of emotion wash over her as she looked around the dinner table at her family. Their support and pride meant the world to her. "Thank you both," she said, her voice choked with gratitude. "I couldn't have done any of this without you." The sense of unity and strength that had grown within her family was a testament to their resilience and love. As Vicky continued to thrive in her role, she also became a role model in her community. Her efforts in outreach programs and her positive impact on the gas station's operations earned her respect and admiration beyond the workplace. Chandler's confidence in her was well placed. His decision to trust Vicky with a leadership role not only transformed the gas station, but also brought a renewed sense of purpose and pride into Vicky's life. She had proven that with hard work, integrity, and a compassionate heart, one could overcome the most challenging obstacles. One day, Chandler approached Vicky with a new opportunity. "We're opening a new branch of the gas station in a neighboring town. I'd like you to take on the role of overseeing the launch and managing the new team there. I believe you're more than capable." Vicky was both excited and humbled by the opportunity. "I'm honored, Chandler. I'll give it everything I have." As the glasses clinked and laughter filled the room, Vicky felt a deep sense of fulfillment and peace. The journey from uncertainty and hardship to this moment of celebration was a testament to her resilience and the unwavering support of her loved ones. In the warmth of her family's embrace, Vicky recognized the true value of their collective strength and unity. They had faced adversity together, and it was this bond that had carried them through the toughest times. The promise of new opportunities and the excitement of the future made the present moment even more precious. As she looked around the table, Vicky knew that the road ahead would have its challenges, but she felt equipped to face them. Her experiences had taught her that with determination, kindness, and a strong support system, she could overcome any obstacle. With a heart full of hope and gratitude, Vicky raised her glass one more time. "Here's to new beginnings, to the strength we found in each other, and to the endless possibilities that lie ahead." The toast was met with cheers and heartfelt smiles. The future was uncertain, but Vicky felt ready to embrace it with the same courage and optimism that had guided her through her journey. As the evening drew to a close, she looked forward to the new chapter of her life with confidence, knowing that the love and support of her family would be her greatest strength. As we wrap up today's story, we've witnessed a remarkable journey of resilience, kindness, and transformation. Vicky's experience reminds us that even in the face of adversity, our strength and the support of our loved ones can lead us to unexpected and rewarding outcomes. We'd love to hear from you. What lessons have you taken away from Vicky's story? How will these lessons influence your own life? Share one thing you've learned and how you plan to bring it into practice in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more inspiring content. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.